man. I do what I do.
I guess it sounds funny to some people, and we let these folk get away with it. You know, we let it go unanswered. But when we do that, we allow it to fester. We allow these talking points just to be out there unaddressed, and that's never a good.
How white people today should be killed off for what white people did a couple of hundred years ago.
I want you to
Awful
hear
lot of
this.
black people talking about how white people today should be killed off for what white people did a couple of awful lot of black people talking about how white people today should be killed off for what white people did a couple of hundred years ago. Funny thing about that is
I have yet to hear awful lot of white people or black people saying white people should be unalive because of what black people did or white people did a long time. I don't hear that conversation. As a black man, we don't hear that conversation. I very rarely I wouldn't even want to be around people like that. Okay. So, but these are the talking points that's out there. I guess if Alex Trebek was nearby, I would say, things never said for $200 or things you made up for $300. But let's keep listening to this.
Not a single last one of them believes that any of their people should be put to death for what they did yesterday or what they're about to do tomorrow.
What did we do, sir? What did we do? Okay. I'm just trying to understand what is it that we did. Okay. Now, I'm thinking maybe he's talking about this poor young lady who was unalived by the diagnosed schizophrenic man who, she's a beautiful young lady, and she was young. That's the most important thing. And it wouldn't matter what happened, what she looked like. But she was stabbed by a man on the public transit. And, it's a travesty. The system failed her. And, they want to make this, black people are responsible for that crazy man and what he did. Well, here's the thing, I don't think we should be held responsible for things that crazy people do. Nevertheless, I do want to share with you something that I found very interesting because remarkably, there has been a very similar story that I remember some years back where this crazy man right here, whose name was John Lee Caldwell, he was just sentenced to life in prison. And this article came out on July 17th, 2020, but he stabbed to death this young black woman who's beautiful as the other young woman. This young black woman was stabbed to death. 18-year-old Nia Wilson was in Oakland on a BART, and this guy stabbed her to death. Okay? So this was in 2020. So the same thing happened to this other young lady in North Carolina that happened to Miss Nia Wilson, but we don't talk about that. Okay? And you don't see black folks out there talking about how we're going to take vengeance against all white people for that and what that guy did. But it's the very same fact pattern. You understand what I'm saying? But nevertheless, again, we're talking about outrage. And I have some more. I'm going to share with you guys because we have to lay the foundation. And if you guys hit the number 1 button, if you can hear when the videos come on, because I want to make sure that we do that. And, let's keep this going. Here's another one. Let's look at some more.
Or black people won't be left to their own devices. I promise you. So weird watching black people get mad at white people for starting functioning white communities. It's like,
now let's put this into context. There's a community in Missouri. They want to start these all white enclaves. And, so you have a lot of black people saying, really, that's what you're trying to do? The truth is we really don't care what you do. But this guy decides to say the following, and I appreciate the way this young white woman addresses him, because again, you can say Charlie Kirk is not a white nationalist and he's not spewing white nationalist rhetoric, but white people are saying he's spewing white nationalist rhetoric. Now, and I'm going to expose that part, okay? Now, I'm not disclaiming the things that he says that may be accurate, but we're going to talk about the dangerous white nationalist rhetoric that is anti-black. Let's keep listening.
Say white people don't care if black people want to be left to their own devices. I promise you. It's so weird watching black people get mad at white people for starting functioning white communities. It's like, you know how happy we'd be to see black people start a functioning black community? Like we would leave you to it. We would be, oh my goodness, good for you guys.
Wow, so not only
you would they would leave us to it. They would leave us to it. Sir, I think you are unaware of the history of the United States. You leave no one alone, okay? But
not only are you dumb and uneducated and a bigot, you're also inefficient, because that was a lot of words to say I'm a white supremacist and I'm okay with it. Let's talk about the history of white people just accepting black communities. 1873, Colfax, Louisiana. White mobs murdered 150 black men who were defending a Reconstruction era form of government, and it was a coup to seize political power away from black residents. 1898, Wilmington, North Carolina. White mobs overthrew the multiracial city government and then slaughtered dozens of black.
She looks like she could have been waiting to say that. She couldn't wait. She's been taking that. She took that African studies class, and she couldn't wait to get this out. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead. Let them have
families and burned down their businesses. 1910, Slocum, Texas. White mobs attacked a prosperous black farming community out of racial and economic resentment, killed dozens, forced the survivors to flee, and stole their land. 1912, Forsyth County, Georgia. After a false rape allegation, white mobs terrorized and expelled all of the black residents, forcing those survivors to flee, and then seized their land and homes and redistributed it to a white community. And then in 1919, in Elaine, Arkansas, hundreds of black sharecroppers were murdered by white mobs and federal troops after they organized a union to demand fair wages. And in 1920, in OK, Florida, black citizens were massacred and their town was burned to the ground after they attempted to vote in a presidential election.
That's what they did.
And then in 1921, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, one of the wealthiest black communities that has ever existed was destroyed in a 2-day massacre where 35 blocks were destroyed and burned to the ground.
35 blocks. Shout out to Penny Ford. 35 blocks.
And hundreds of black residents were killed. And then in 1923, in Rosewood, Florida, a self-sufficient black town was annihilated by white mobs after a false accusation, and survivors never could return. 1943, in Detroit, Michigan, racial tension.
Now, I'm going to just say this. It's unfortunate that this young woman knows more about black history than I would say at least half of the black people who are going to watch this broadcast. That's very unfortunate. But you're going to learn something tonight. We're going to go into detail about as many as I could find that are relevant to this conversation. But let's keep
over housing and jobs. Does that sound familiar? Led to a deadly riot in which black neighborhoods were destroyed by law enforcement. And then in 1967, also in Detroit, Michigan, an uprising sparked by a police brutality incident was met with military force. They sicked the military on the black neighborhoods, killing 43 and accelerating the decline of black neighborhoods. And then in 1985, Philadelphia dropped a bomb on a black neighborhood because they had a black rights movement called MOVE in those houses. A peaceful liberation movement, and Philadelphia bombed it. And then you throw this little racist tidbit in there.
I would feel solidarity and pride with a 95% low crime, high productivity black city, or several in the United States.
Because the implication here is that black people shouldn't have their own neighborhoods because it'll be riddled with crime, even though that doesn't address over-policing and poverty. And there's no white neighborhood that has a 5% crime rate, even though you're trying to paint white people in this amazing good light. You're a white supremacist, because the rest of us white people who are pissed about whites only residences are the people who aren't racist pieces of shit. You can't connect the dots if you don't know where the dots fucking are. Think before you speak.
What's up? Welcome to the broadcast. This is Uncle D. People wash their ass in the tub, Kamala Harris.
You were tuned in to Uncle D. deep. Black man talk, pull up, homie, take a seat. Don't be a shadow watcher every day. You learn something, then you earn something. Let them know and drop some money in the plate. It's getting cold, ladies, talking ratchet. Blizzard King here, grab your coat, zip your jacket. Keep quiet for a second, close your jaw. Attorney Spurling, this ain't pearly, know the law. Talking Constitution, pushing pins when he shooting, give him that. Masculinity, just for the record, sprinkle that. You can keep your cat, gotta cut it. Only cat he rubbing, gotta love it. I call it Molly Buddy. Gotta vote your interest, voting earns. Presidential, this is for the money that I earn. When you gon' learn, my people, that evil mixed with evil. No matter what you're doing, baby, this ain't equal. Sometimes when you're special, you get hated. The test is for the best, you're damn right, my people made it. Uncle D, Blizzard King, you been served, gotta notice. Now black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you been served, get your notice. Now black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you been served, get your notice. Now black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you been served, get your notice. Now black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now.
Hey man, I'll do what I do.
Somebody need to whip your ass.
Get up and whip him, Sweets.
Hey, don't be putting the money in my hand all rough.
Take your ass out here. You buy you a Floby and cut your own damn hair from now.
Spurling Podcast, click your mouth pad. Yeah, we out back. Hit the like, hit subscribe. Don't just hate watch, cause we outside. Let them hate watch, go and play pop. We just lay back. He don't play that. We don't play back. We don't play back. We go way back. Black men, yeah, we earn something. Tune in, gotta learn something. Uncle D Podcast, bump it. Likes up, hit the sub button. Black men, yeah, we earn something. Tune in, gotta learn something. Uncle D Podcast, bump it. Likes up, hit the sub button. This is Dennis Spurling Podcast. Don't just hate watch, hit subscribe and let them know we outside. Don't hold hate, donate. Super chat, cash app. Put something in the collection plate. Church.
I want y'all to make sure y'all hit the number 1 button. And we're going to kind of get back to what we like to do over here, man. I need y'all to check in at a certain point when it's time to check in. I need to checking in to start happening again. We got to go ahead and get this algorithm pumping.